Marble City Comicon, one of Knoxville's best comic book conventions, took place April 11th through 13th at the Knoxville Convention Center. The convention features several vendors with their exhibitors covering a wide range of interests. It was kid-friendly, and fans of comic books, animation, toys, sci-fi, and fantasy enjoyed all the convention had to offer. There were RJ Haddad airbrush demos, a meet and greet with the famous comic book artist George Perez, and they even had replicas of the Star Wars Stormtrooper and the 1989 Batmobile. We spoke with Wes Tillander, who runs the Knoxville Anime and Comic-Con, which will be April 26th and 27th. He had a booth at the Marble City Comic-Con, and we asked him a few questions about his passion for comics and his favorite comic series and artists.
Avengers, because you get 5 characters in the same price as getting 4 separate characters. Cap, Thor, Iron Man, Hulk, all in one big package. I mean, every book goes good and bad. There's good runs of Avengers, there's good runs of Spider-Man. There's bad runs of Batman, there's good runs of Batman. So books nowadays are more like who works on them than the book itself. Neil Adams from the 70s is probably the best artist in working comics. I like Jim Lee, Nelson Kevich. I mean, there's a lot of really good guys. There's a lot of artists that work in comics that are really good. George Perez that's here at this show is one of the best artists that's ever worked in comics. He is in probably the top 10 of the 80s, 90s artists. So.
Not all of Marble City Comic-Con's booths are comic-related. Some feature original items sold by the different vendors.
My name is Chris Moneymaker, and this is my wife Jolene. We primarily have chainmail jewelry. We also have some chainmail armor, some wands too, some cosplay wands, and some cosplay weapons.
Plan on doing any more conventions?
Yes, we're going to do Fanboy this Memorial Day weekend.
www.forgottenrelics13.com.
Along with the many vending booths, there were also dozens of featured guests and events. Some of the top guests were wrestling legend Kevin Nash, comic book legend George Perez, and Universal Monsters legend Rico Browning, who played the creature from the Black Lagoon. The event also included several movie showings, including Quite a Conundrum, directed, written, and produced by Thomas L. Phillips, and the deviant picture film of Fat Chance, each followed by a cast Q&A. An iconic horror movie relic was also present at the convention, the Green Goblin head from Stephen King's Maximum Overdrive. Convention goers were able to pay to take pictures next to the massive movie prop restored by Tim Shockey. Amos Drac is a booth for anyone who might be interested in medieval weaponry and clothing. It's run by Steve Willis and his wife and features leatherwork, swords, and knives. We were able to talk with Steve and have him explain to us more in detail his merchandise and his experience at the convention. And what is your vending booth today?
My booth is called Hamish Drac, Hunter for the Non-Discriminating.
And what would you specialize in here?
Mostly specialize in leatherwork. I do leather costumes. We primarily vend at Renaissance fairs across the country. So,
how many comic book conventions have you been to?
Probably only about 4 or 5 total.
4 or 5?
We primarily do the other festivals, but filling in some time.
What's the major differences between like how well you do and the items you sell at a comic book convention to a Renaissance fair?
The Renaissance fairs do better. They were a little more geared for people in that specific costume. People who want a costume at those. So, but Comic-Cons are cool too. Get to go see a little something different, see a bunch of different stuff, and can even go outside of our usual costume range too for making stuff.
And a lot of the stuff, like cosplayers sometimes buy it just for looks and stuff, but this is all real metal and sharp.
Yes.
So it is a little bit dangerous, so to speak.
Yes.
Are you ever concerned of people taking them and like hurting themselves?
Well, that's kind of the implied warranty is the, you buy at your risk. We don't allow minors to purchase, you have to be 18 or over to purchase or handle the weapons. So once they purchase it, it's all up to you to learn how to use it properly and not hurt yourself or anyone else.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much. I appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Cosplay is very popular at comic conventions. The Marble City Convention actually featured several well-known cosplayers such as Nicole Marie Jean, Destiny Nicholson, Ricky Lakoti, and Sci-Fi Heroes of Cosplay superstar Monica Lee. Cosplay is welcome and encouraged by the event for any convention goers. We spoke to two well-dressed cosplayers about what cosplay actually is.
Sky Oval.
I'm Keely Owens.
Is this y'all's first comic book convention?
Yes.
Yes.
You dressed us today.
I went as Undertaker, the Shinigami from Black Butler.
And I came as the real version of Death Note, Matt from Death Note.
And for those who don't understand what cosplay is, can you explain kind of in your own words what it is and why you do it?
Cosplaying is like where you dress as your favorite character from like a book or a movie or a comic book or anime or something of the sort. It's where you can show your originality. A lot of people like to go as female versions, which is what we did. You can gender bend, you can go as that character, make it original, anything. It's really fun.
Plan on going to any more comic book conventions this year?
I have like 8 more planned this year.
8 more planned. Awesome. Do you have any ideas for what you're going to dress as?
Maybe Cheshire Cat next time or Lulu from Final Fantasy.
A character from Walking Dead.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Thanks.
Taking the popular computer game Minecraft and turning it into a more hands-on experience is the premise behind Model Blocks. After you pick out your kit of tiny square blocks, you are able to create structures and terrains like you do in Minecraft. The Marble City Comicon concluded Sunday afternoon, with the convention overall being a huge success. The next comic convention Knoxville residents can attend is the Knoxville Comic and Anime Con, which will be held April 26th and 27th. It will be $10 to the door and will feature many famous comic writers and artists.
Somebody asked about a comic book.